Listen up, Cafetero family. Welcome back to a brand new episode where our Colombian pride is absolutely through the roof. What we are witnessing right now from Díaz deep in the heart of Bavaria isn't just some lucky hot streak. It is the absolute crowning of a generational talent. If absolutely anyone out there still questioned whether a Colombian kid could take the throne from Bayern Munich's legendary attackers, I guarantee you that after this weekend's masterclass, those doubts are officially buried 6 feet under the Allianz Arena turf. We are watching an unbelievable evolution unfold before our very eyes. That lightning-fast winger who broke out at junior and forged himself into an absolute warrior over at Liverpool. Today, he has morphed into the ultimate offensive weapon, a guy who reads the pitch like a grandmaster staring at a chessboard. Let us set the scene for a second, because to truly appreciate Lucho's greatness, you have to realize the sheer pressure cooker he is operating in. Vincent Kompany's Bayern squad is a relentless pressing machine. They do not just want a victory, they want to completely suffocate you, but wearing the Bundesliga crown brings a crushing weight that only true titans can handle. With a massive Champions League round of 16 clash against Atalanta looming right around the corner, you could cut the silent tension in Munich with a knife. Right in the middle of that pressure, the manager pulled a wild card move that left the entire German sports media completely speechless. 7 changes to the starting lineup. 7, picture the sheer panic on the fans' faces when they realized their ultimate striker, Harry Kane, was riding the pine. Imagine the whispers spreading through the stands as their hottest star, Michael Olise, got benched for rest. Every single soul in the stadium was asking the exact same thing. Who is going to find the back of the net? Who exactly was going to pick the lock on Borussia Mönchengladbach's defense? The answer did not come from European royalty, but straight out of the pure grit and humble roots of Barrancas. La Guajira, Luis Fernando Díaz and Miranda did not just step up to the plate as a starter. He strapped on the armor of a true franchise leader. He did not just walk out there to fill a spot on the tactical board. He marched on to that pit of his name permanently into the legacy of Germany's most decorated franchise. What we witnessed wasn't just another date on the schedule. It was the exact moment Lucho proved he has the ultimate alpha dog mentality to carry this offense when the brightest stars are completely shut down. Because let me tell you, folks, his performance was a masterclass in modern soccer. A breathtaking goal ripped straight out of a Hollywood script, paired with a dime of an assist that had surgical precision and a supernatural ability to read empty space. It seriously makes you wonder, are we looking at the most complete Colombian player to ever touch a European pitch? Let us break down the battle tapes. Gladbach did not travel to Munich just to enjoy the scenery. They parked an absolute bus, building a defensive brick wall that looked completely bulletproof for the first 25 minutes. Sure, Bayern was hogging the ball with 70% possession, but they couldn't turn that into any actual scoring threats. Lucho had been trapped in a minor scoring drought over the last few league matchups, and you guys know exactly how ruthless the German critics can be. You go cold, and the nasty rumors instantly start swirling, but the beautiful game always writes the best scripts, queuing up a massive moment of glory right at the 33rd minute mark. There are certain goals that make you scream from the absolute bottom of your soul. Then there are those you just have to sit back and dissect like a genius. The opening strike of the afternoon was a perfect blend of both. The entire sequence sparked from Leon Goretzka's elite peripheral vision. I swear that German midfielder is working with military-grade radar instead of human eyeballs. Hovering right near midfield, he picked his head up and spotted a tiny crease in the defense that completely went over the heads of us mere mortals. But Lucho was already smelling blood in the water, channeling his inner purebred striker. Our guy blasted into the open gap, right between their 2 massive centre-backs. Goretzka launched an absolute dream of a pass, a perfectly weighted deep ball that floated over the final line of defense with a jaw-dropping trajectory. For a split second, time completely froze inside the Allianz Arena. 99% of players out there would have tried to bring that rock down, control it, and secure the possession. But Luis Díaz is currently operating on a totally different mental frequency. Without letting that ball even graze the turf, he absolutely laced a cross-body right-footed volley, leaving goalkeeper Moritz Nicola staring into space with zero chance to react. It was a pure, highlight reel laser beam that finally shattered the deadlock and instantly killed off his scoring drought with that magical strike. Our boy from Gojira hit a staggering 14 goals for this Bundesliga campaign. Let that insane statistic sink in for a second. In one of the most violently physical and cutthroat leagues on the planet, swarming with world-class poachers, we literally have a Colombian winger sitting right at the head table with the Golden Boot contenders. Yet, the stuff that makes a head coach like Vincent Kompany absolutely fall in love isn't just the flashy goals. It is the relentless hustle Lucho shows when the ball is nowhere near him. Seconds after putting them up 1-0, we caught him sprinting 50 meters back down the pitch just to strip the ball away twice deep inside his own penalty box. That right there is the pure diet of Luis Díaz. The man throws out his superstar status the second he needs to sacrifice his body for the roster. While the divers are out there waiting for a standing ovation after scoring, he's busy throwing on a hard hat and going to work to protect the lead. Cruising into the final moments of the first half, right during stoppage time, he decided to flex a completely different muscle in his game. Ultimate, unselfish teamwork. The visiting squad choked on a rookie mistake trying to clear the zone, and Bayern, they are like great whites, smelling a single drop of blood from a mile away. They exploded on a deadly fast break. Nicolas Jackson bulldozed forward with some freakish athletic power, kicking it out wide to Luis Díaz, who had already anchored himself deep inside enemy territory. Staring dead at the net from that angle, 90% of goal scorers would have immediately ripped a shot to pad their own stat sheet. But Lucho's offensive IQ is simply on another stratosphere. He kept his eyes up, spotted Conrad Laimer streaking totally unmarked down the right flank, and practically handed him the ball on a silver platter. Laimer just had to pick a corner and easily tap in the 2-0 dagger. Just an absolute dime of an assist for our guy. Heading into the locker room at the half, Lucho as box score looked like an absolute video game, especially for a dude who was supposedly just stepping in as a rotational piece. Try 34 completed passes out of 38 attempts. That is an 89% hit rate on a newly shuffled roster trying to build chemistry on the fly. He morphed into the ultimate floor general, linking up perfectly with everyone and driving the engine on every single fast break. Honestly, the debate over whether Luis Díaz is our greatest active export is officially dead. The only question the global soccer community should be asking today is whether there is a single left winger on planet Earth making a more massive all-around impact than our homegrown superstar. Jumping into the second half, the Bavarian Giants just put on an absolute clinic in clock management and total dominance. Any tiny glimmer of a Gladbach comeback was completely vaporized when Rocco Rietz got tossed with a red card right at the 55-minute mark. Moments later, Jamal Musiala, rocking the captain's armband with a cold-blooded maturity way beyond his 23 years, he buried the penalty to make it 3-0. Ice in his veins. Right then, Kompany checked his watch and locked eyes with Lucho. Mission accomplished. The boss knew he needed his star forward fresh, legs fully charged for the absolute war, waiting for them in Bergamo against Atalanta. Then right at the 60th minute, the atmosphere shifted completely. Pure goosebumps. The entire Allianz Arena rose to its feet, a deafening, standing ovation for Luis Díaz from one of the most ruthless and demanding crowds in world soccer. He hit the bench knowing he had conquered the pitch, packing stats that send a shiver down any defender's spine. We are talking 14 goals and 11 assists already this campaign. Absolutely unreal. That is 25 direct goal involvements. You do not put up those numbers as a role player. Those are the undeniable credentials of a serious Ballon d'Or or contender. This is the stat line of a guy who has evolved into the absolute heartbeat and most reliable weapon in Bayern Munich's entire system. The final whistle blew on a 4-1 blowout after Jackson found the net, and the visitors scratched one back late. But make no mistake, this blockbuster was directed by a Colombian superstar. When the game ended, the fallout echoed exactly what we all witnessed. Max Eberl, the club's sporting mastermind, did not hold back the praise. He called the win completely earned and pointed out how crucial it was for the veterans to mentor the academy kids who got a taste of the action today. But it was Vincent Kompany who dropped the most hard-hitting quotes of the night. The Belgian tactician raved about Díaz's suffocating intensity, specifically highlighting his elite ability to shatter defensive lines and that straight-up killer instinct to ghost into the box at the exact perfect second. Hearing a world-class manager speak with that kind of pure awe about our homegrown hero that hits different, it is pure pride. Even his locker room brothers were totally blown away. Musiala preached about carrying this exact powerhouse energy forward, while Leon Goretzka made it crystal clear that their total dominance was fueled by the relentless hustle of their front line. Because Lucho is not just out there kicking a ball. He is the maestro who orchestrates, presses, feeds, and finishes. We are watching a complete, all-around phenom who just silences the haters with one masterclass after another. Now the Bayern war machine locks its radar dead onto Italy. Tuesday's showdown against Atalanta is a do-or-die heavyweight clash for the European dreams. And after this weekend is absolute clinic. Díaz has not just locked down his starting spot. He has transformed into the ultimate difference maker, carrying the hopes of the entire fanbase on his back. While guys like Kane and Olise were getting a breather, Lucho kept the Bavarian engine running at maximum horsepower. People keep asking if this is his absolute ceiling, but knowing the relentless fire burning inside the Guajiro, we are probably just witnessing the opening credits of his golden era in Germany, transforming from a flashy, touchline-hugging winger in the Premier League into an absolute monster who dictates every single phase of the game in the Bundesliga. That is a legendary leap very few ever survive. But the schedule is absolutely brutal, 0 breaks. The second they wrap up their Champions League business, Bayern has to march into Bayer Leverkusen's backyard on March 14th for what is shaping up to be an earth-shattering clash of the Titans for supreme control of the league. If Kompany's squad keeps this lethal focus, and if Lucho keeps sniping corners like this, that Bundesliga crown is inching closer and closer to staying locked up in Munich. But the ultimate prize, the obsession keeping all of Bavaria awake at night, is the Champions League. And right now, that fantasy feels incredibly real with Díaz playing out of his mind. It is honestly mind-blowing what this kid is pulling off in a year that also doubles as a World Cup qualifying bloodbath for South America. His god-tier form is a massive win for all of us, meaning he will join the Colombian national squad riding an unstoppable wave of confidence. Before we wrap up this deep dive here on Football Cafetero, I need to hear from you guys. The absolute lifeblood supporting our homegrown talent. Do you think Luis Díaz has already eclipsed the German legacies of Colombian icons like El Tren Valencia or James Rodriguez? Is it totally crazy to picture Lucha standing on that Ballon d'Or or podium if he hoists the Champions League trophy with Bayern? One thing is an absolute fact. Watching Stefan Laimer, the legendary stadium voice, just laughing in pure disbelief at the absolute magic Goretzka and Lucho were cooking up out there. That speaks volumes. We are witnessing a living legend in the making. Do not forget to drop your hot takes down in the comments. We read every single one of them. If you lost your mind celebrating that volley like it was a cup final, smash that like button and share this with your entire soccer squad. Hit subscribe so you do not miss a single second of our Colombian warriors dominating the globe. Because right here at Football Cafetero, we deliver the hardcore facts with pure passion and the most elite breakdowns on the internet. Catch you in the next upload, where we will probably be breaking down another historic masterclass from our boy Lucho Díaz under the bright lights of Europe. Big love to all of you, and long live Colombian soccer.